Going live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the agenda. As preview time back, the gossip stopped. The real business is back. The countdown has started. We've got 150 games in 112 days, guys. This is the Man United agenda. Let's get the show on the road. Monday,
Mr. B.
The Premier League is back. I am so happy, man. How you doing, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm buzzing like you. I mean, it's been a while, isn't it? I mean, the international week, you get into it, and then you watch. I've watched maybe 2 good games throughout the whole international week. But the most important thing is like focusing on Man United, making sure everyone's fit when they come back, and like hearing about we're going to go into team news and all that kind of thing. Availability, that's important. Because like you say, 7 games in April, Premiership games, and it's like the final furlong right now. So this is where we really kick on and see what we've got. All the good work could go to waste in this last hurdle, you know. So we really have to put it in. So I don't know how you feel, bro, because overall, I look at the season. I think we've taken some lash.
Yeah,
we've taken licks from City, we've taken licks from Liverpool, Brentford. But when I look at it, I think it's been a good season. So this, to finish it off, like Rashford said yesterday, it's all about the trophy and finishing the season in style. So this next few weeks and month or 2 is going to be crucial. Is that true?
Yeah, for real. But what's crucial, guys? To be honest, before we go any further, we've got a shop up and running now. It's our merch store. I'm going to leave it up there. You can have a look at the link there. Give you time to copy it down and that. Look, we're doing a thing. We got mugs on there. We got coasters. We've got, you know, if I tell you, then I'm going to ruin it. So look, the link's on there for you guys to have a look. And look, we will be getting it back up just before the end of the show. So if you do miss it, just hold tight. It will be back on
Mr. B, you know, I want to add a whole first 11 full of mugs. By the end of the season, I'm planning to get a whole first 11 of mugs. And I know we do the solos 11, but I want to be able to do like a tactics board with mugs. You know? So guys, check out the merch store. I mean, it's / the Man United agenda -- square site. Go and check them out. Go and tune in. Check them out and lay down some money. When it's paid, lay down some money, get a mug, and take a picture for us as well, because we're always posing up with our mugs as well. I don't know about the coasters. I don't really use coasters, but I might invest in a couple of them as well. And the pens. They look really cool. Putting my pen behind my ear when I go to work. People might ask me questions like that. First 11. Right. Go for that.
Right. Eddie Mayhem, we see ya. We do see you in there. Zoe Media House, we do see ya. UK Strains, it is a very, very good evening to ya. So, guys, look. I'm not an international fan, I'll be honest. Some tournaments do me well, some tournaments don't. The World Cup I had no interest in. The Euros I was very excited about. I think it's just how it catches me. But injury wise, and obviously our team news coming up here, obviously we know our normal injuries. Eriksen 10 days, should be back by the Everton game.
Okay.
So that's something to look forward to. Obviously, we know Casemiro is going to be playing a game a week now instead of 7 a week like everybody else because of his suspension.
Sorry, Mr. B, suspension. Yeah. So how many games has he got left? Was it a 5-game ban?
No, it was 3 games. 3 games he missed. 3.
But it's the second red card of the season. Isn't that 4 game ban?
No, it's supposed to be 3. I think if we had appealed it, it would have been 4.
Okay.
Because we would have failed it. Somebody in the house is obviously going to tell us, to be fair, if we got that wrong. I do like this one. This was an Alex Ferguson type recovery, to be fair. You know those little those little ones. Oh, it's a 4 game. Oh, bugger.
Second red card of the season. I think that's why it goes to the 4-game ban. Oh. Yeah, they're right, guys. So
sure, but okay. Well, look, it just means that look, we'll discuss our midfield options. We'll discuss our midfield options in a bit, to be fair. But So look, Rashford's back. We know.
Yeah.
Anthony's back.
Well, back from where? Where's from an
Well,
international break?
He was injured the
Was he?
last game,
Okay.
wasn't he? I'm
Okay.
not even sure that he flew out on international break. Maybe I should have done
Right.
a little bit of homework before I came on. But Anthony's back,
Yeah.
obviously. Who else is back?
So Bitzer obviously is back from international
Right.
duty. But there's a question mark
What's
about him, isn't there?
yeah, because he was down as he was down as injured for us before the international break, and
Right.
they called him in. He played the first game and didn't play the second game. Now I
Yeah.
don't know if that's precautionary in regards to him playing for us, or he's actually going to be out. I mean, look, we'll discuss that once we get Solo's team up.
Yeah.
We'll discuss those options as well.
And
But
obviously Donny van der Beek. I mean, we haven't discussed him for ages because we know he's out probably for the rest of the season.
I
But
think
that
he's out of the club.
you
I'll be
reckon?
honest. Yeah, I think he's out of the club. He's done. I nearly swore. He didn't do much. Let's be honest. We wanted him to be this guy, and he wasn't. I don't think.
Sorry, actually, big up Jeff. I
Yeah.
know we're going to see you on Friday, but I just seen your comment, and I have watched the Russia game, Iraq against Russia. They lost 2-0, Iraq, but my boy Iqbal played a beautiful game. And people talk about him. We were discussing it the other day, and I think a few people saying he's not strong enough or physical enough. That's probably
Mm,
why he's being sort of held back in playing in the Prem. But when you see him in the Russian international side, he bossed the game from midfield. When I say bossed it, I mean you look at the highlights, you look at his distribution,
mm.
shielding the ball, keeping the ball. He played a beautiful game. So I just want to big him up. Playing international football used to be the top, the pinnacle of football, of levels of football. Now it's probably, up there with league football or Champions League football, but it is the best people in your country. And if you're playing against a team like Russia, who are clearly better than Iraq, and you're playing a game like that and playing, he's shining, then I think that only looks good for him. And hopefully we will see him get a game before the end of the season.
Boy, do you think so? Do you think so? I mean, this is it. The beginning of the season. I mean, even in pre-season,
Yeah.
we had him down as somebody who we expected to be, in and around. He's done nothing. He hasn't had a sniff.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a sniff. So is it something that we saw that we thought, or is it something that he's not doing in training? Because obviously Manu, to me, is ahead of him in the pecking order. To be fair,
Well, he has been based on him getting more game time. But I don't know. For me, he's not ahead of him. I like Manu. I love Kobe's game. I love his game. But I also love Zidane Iqbal's game. Very similar, the way they play. And I think for some reason, like you said, Kobe's been getting game time more than Zidane Iqbal. I don't know what the issue is. We can only speculate here. But I'm just saying, judging by watching him against professional teams and senior men's football, he looks good. He's doing enough. And I think when you can take a risk of playing a Garnacho in the side or one or two youngsters, Palestri 1 week, Garnacho 1 week, I expect maybe sometime soon for Kobe and Zidane Iqbal to get more game time, especially with the Sabitzer injury, especially with Casemiro is suspended, McFred available, Donny van der Beek out, Ericsson out. There's opportunities there, So that's the way I'm looking at it. Anyway,
do you think? Obviously, my Saturday team, I play experience centre of the park, and my youngsters sort of wide, which my younger players, my two 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, they both want to play centre mid.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I would play them in centre mid, and this is what I'm not Ten Hag, so I'm not. It's nothing to do with that. It's just I always feel that experience is better in midfield, especially centre of the park.
Yeah.
Do you feel that he might be thinking that with Iqbal as well? Because obviously he'll play Palestri and he's going to play guard. All right, they're superstars. They're going to be great players, but age-wise, he doesn't. Do you think that he maybe doesn't trust the younger players inside?
I think you're a good manager because you make a good point there. I mean, you don't want to throw it. The hotbed of the pitch is the midfield. That's the engine room, and that's where everything happens. You have to be on it, and you can dictate games from the centre of the park, can't you? We've seen great players over the years like Keane and Vieira and all these guys in the Premiership era, especially dominate games. I think when the Garnacho and Palestri get more love because you're out wide. You got, it's all about showtime, getting the ball, doing things. You're not really in the hustle bustle and having that real responsibility in the centre of the park. So I think you make a good point there. That could quite be a possibility. I don't know what you guys think of the comments, but I do like Zidane Bell, and I do think you could play because there's 3 man in midfield, for example. You play him with McTominay, and McTominay's his enforcer or his bouncer. He look after him during the game, and they see him through the game. I just want to see that brand of football. I just, like you were saying the other day, you go, oh, I love this brand of football. yeah. I don't do it again. No, you do it. Oh, yes. I love that. There's certain players that give you that kind of feel, and I want to see us play that kind of ball playing. When I see Eriksen playing for us, I think, wow, TikTok, pop, 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 controlling the game. That 8-ball's got that about him.
I mean, even Eriksen, we look at our season, I'm not saying we're not going to forget what Eriksen did, but he's been out for so long. I'm not saying he's going to be like a new player, but if he hits the ground running and can even do 75% of what he was doing, before he got injured, I feel that we're going to be in a good position towards the end of the season. Do you want to go through a couple of these a few of these messages, please?
Yeah, we're having a good combo here. I just want to say hi to Christine Howley. How you doing, Christine? Hope you're doing well. I'll see you on Friday. UK Strange Day, good to see the players back in training there. I didn't see the training clips, but hopefully everyone's back up to speed. Obviously the 4-game ban, that's been confirmed. Sabitzer's back in training apparently, says UK Strange. Thanks for the update. And here's one for you, Mr. B. I read that Martial's also almost back, says Zoe Media House. Go and check out Zoe Media House on YouTube, by the way. Eriksen will be back this month as well, so it's looking good. McTominay as a striker this weekend. We're going to talk about McTominay in a minute, hopefully, because he's been doing bits in the international football. Passing and tackling, says Jeff. I don't know who you're referring to, maybe Zidane Iqbal. Michael Hill, how you doing? I'm arranging a charity 100-meter sprint, Veghorst versus Hodgson, to be over in about 5 minutes. Very good, very good. Ten Hag doesn't want Iqbal to lose himself with the fame he would get, says Zoe Media House. Why do you say that, Zoe? He's saying here, as soon as Zidane Iqbal makes his debut, he would be like the Mo Salah in North Africa or in Iraq in the Middle East and South India, because he's half Indian, half Iraqi. So he's going to grow up as a player as well. And there's somebody at the door. And Emma Kay saying, yeah, it'll be easier to come in as a youngster in a forward role. Midfield is tough to come. So she agrees with you there, Mr. B. Rumours about Mason Greenwood return. Yeah, that's been ongoing for a long time. So Zidane Iqbal was born in Manchester because he doesn't sound Egyptian, proper Mancunian, he's saying here. Paul Tierney in the house saying, I prefer Manu, special talent. Question, I don't know the record over the years. I'd imagine that we have a good record over Newcastle. We're going to find out. We're going to talk about that. Rebel in the house saying, all I can say, lads, is fried chicken I'm eating is finger licking good. That's taking a quote from Mr. KFC. And finally, Emma here is saying, we know Ten Hag is careful with the youth. They have to be ready physically and mentally, but Ten Hag wants to give them a reasonable game time in the right games. Just want to shout out Colin as well, because he's jumped in last minute. Iqbal has potential to be great. If he plays even 45 minutes, it's 45 minutes under his belt in first team football and offers us something different in the middle of the park. There you go.
I mean, as I said, I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for that whole. I understand the fame bit, but I think these players are brought up to be able to handle that. Yeah. To be fair, I think he seems to have a good. I don't know him. We always think that they've got a good head on their shoulders, and then we hear certain things in the press about stuff that they're doing during lockdown and all of those other things. But look, that's a story for another time. Listen, I know why you guys are here. To be fair, I know why you're here. This is the part that you've all been waiting for. You haven't come to see me. You haven't tuned in to see OMONDI. You've tuned in to see Solo's 11. Now, guys, he's not here, but he has forwarded this to me. Now, look, I want you guys to look at the team, try and pick it apart and see if there's anything that you agree or disagree with. Now, look, we know Casemiro is suspended for 4 games. And I'm looking there and I'm seeing the 2 names that I never, ever want to see start in our central midfield. I'm not confident about the game with them 2 playing in there. I know Scott now thinks he's a bloody centre forward. So he's probably not going to be sitting in the position that he's supposed to be sitting in, because he's going to be chasing glory. Fred and McTominay as a central midfield pairing is shocking. I haven't seen anything um that would change my mind under Ten Hag. I'm glad that Solo's actually chosen a very strong back four. Would you have played Dallo instead of Wan-Bissaka?
I like Solo selection here. I think Wan-Bissaka, we're playing away from home. And they say Wan-Bissaka's better defending, and they say Dalot's better going forward. So they play away from home against a team that's up there and, pushing for top four. I think maybe Wan-Bissaka. When you look at their forwards, who they've got Alamon, what his name is, left-footed guy, plays from the right, quick, really on form. Couldn't score a goal since he came to Newcastle, but this season he's banging them in for fun and just looking really exciting, getting the ball driving at people, and he's just electric right now. And also they've got runners from midfield as well. You're talking about the old boy from Arsenal, Willock. He's probably one of the quickest players in the Premier League running from midfield as well. So these are guys we need to pick up. They're wide men. They're talking about St. Maximin. So when you talk about these sort of guys away from home, I think Wan-Bissaka's the right pick in there, guys. I don't know what you think. I know Jeff just shouted out saying about St. Maximin will be pocketed by Wan-Bissaka. So I agree with Solo there with his selection. Zoe Media House is saying here, if Lindelof is fit, play Fred and play Sabitzer instead of McTominay.
Hey!
PJ saying McTominay needs to play further forward. He's been playing as a striker his whole youth career as well.
Question. No, before we go any further, I know everybody's gassed that he scored the 4 goals in 2 games. If McTominay was a striker, he would be playing as a striker. He wouldn't be playing as a central midfielder. He's playing for Scotland. People need to remember this. So they probably didn't have a striker anyway. I would not like to see McTominay playing in Vitor's position. I know everybody's no, it can't happen. If that was something that he would have seen that in the club already. So no, I'm not taking that. Sorry, Omondi, for cutting you off there. I needed to get that off my chest.
I actually cut myself. I muted myself because this bloody dog was barking. But anyway, yeah, I've looked. Sometimes when I'm watching the game, McTominay looks like Beckhorst. I get them confused, and maybe they do like that Spider-Man thing where they sort of play each other off and sort of change. Imagine they changed their number shirts and came out. But anyway, yeah, let's give props to McTominay. I know you don't like him as a partnership with Fred. We've seen, what happened last year, and a lot of these guys blame, Maguire gets pelters and McFred as a partnership gets pelters. But I do think McTominay listens to instructions. I do think it's a perfect game for him, and with so many good runners and physical, like you got Joe Lilton, you got Willock, you got Bruno Guimaraes. These guys are what they've got, especially what stands out. They're big, strong, and they can run beyond you. And I think McTominay's the sort of guy who can sort of be disciplined and be physical enough to sort of withstand all that. And so I think McTominay will be a good fit. Obviously, he has to play based on availability. And beyond that, I think it just speaks for itself. What do you think about the side that Solo's put out?
I think it's great. It's the team that I would have put out. It's the team that I would have chosen, to be fair. As I said, by the central midfield, but let's not get into. I think that's going to be the midfield that starts. As much as I sit here and I say I don't want, I think that's going to be the midfield that starts. Anthony over Sancho. Anybody questioning that or calling for Palestri to be in that position? It's a huge game away from home. We're probably going to need stronger mental players than the young Palestri. Are we going with Anthony? We going with Sancho?
Thing is, with the defence, they've got great defence, Newcastle, haven't they? They look at the defensive record, they haven't really conceded that many goals this season. And they've got giants at the back. That Botman is a brilliant player, left-footed centre-back, tall, strong. They've got the biggest, tallest left-back I've ever seen in my life with Dan Burn as well. And I think with Dan Burn, when I saw Arsenal play against him the other day, I think a little guy like Saka gave him a bit of a problem. So I think Anthony would be a good fit against Dan Burn, especially in the final. When we played Newcastle in the final recently, Anthony came up against Dan Burn, and with his little trickery and fast feet, I think the taller you are, it's harder to turn and get away like that away. So I think if you can play to your strengths and look to beat the man like that, I think you could have a bit of joy against him. Flinging balls up to him, expecting him to win balls with Dan Burn, that's a no-no. But get him in the right positions. I think we've got opportunities there on both sides. So I really think we can hurt them. Kieran Trippier is a great player, obviously. Their defensive unit's good because they're physically strong, big, and they're organised. But I do think there's going to be opportunities, as we've shown when we beat them at Wembley on a big pitch like that. I think we outclassed them. And I was a bit worried going into that game. So I think we've got enough there, whether it's Sancho or Anthony. Your thoughts?
Okay. I'm going Anthony. To be fair, I think Sancho plays in Bruno's. But that's just what I've been thinking now. I think he's covered for Bruno, so I'm going with Anthony, with the proviso that he runs at him how Saka did.
Yeah.
Don't be this sideways. I don't mind that little flippy flappy thing he does with his feet. But when he does it, go past the player. Don't do it, and then come back. If you're gonna do it once and go past the player. You know, I know he wants to be an entertainer and he wants to be this and he wants to be that, but this is the business end of the season, to be fair. Guys, get your score predictions in as well now. There's 14 of you wonderful viewers watching. Do hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. And while you're there, let's get some score predictions in. Mine might surprise you a bit, to be fair, on Monday, but yeah, I'm gonna be real for the next well, however much league games we got in our Europa League games. But yeah, I'm feeling the team. I'm just not feeling the midfield, and there's certain things that I am a bit worried about. So guys, come, let's get your score predictions in, man. Let's see what goody gumdrops you've got for us.
Okay, so we've got a 2-2 here from Michael Hill already. 3-1 from Jeff and a 3-1 from Colin as well. Want to say hi to Andy Herbert, by the way. You'll be seeing him on Friday. And Emma's saying here, he won't be. He's for when we are more possession based. We'll probably get it. Okay, I missed what that was about. Sorry about that. 2-0 Man United, says to Andy Herbert. I want to know what you're talking about here, because you backed it up already by saying about the midfield. But what's your score? What are you going with, Mr. B? Because you're being a bit negative. Are you not going to go with your usual positive result?
No, I feel that I think we might lose the game.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really worried that we're going to lose this game. I think I'm going to go 2. I'll go 2-1, but it'll be a reverse. Wow. I'm worried about the game, bruv. If McTominay and Fred, I have no confidence in that midfield. Don't get me wrong. If Sabitzer starts, he might have an absolute stinker.
Yeah,
but it's the hope that I want. I don't want to go into the game thinking, Jesus Christ, every mistake that, you know, or every misplaced pass. You know how it is when you're focusing on a player, or you're expecting a player too bad. You notice the minute things that they do wrong. I want to be able to watch the game and enjoy the game. I'm worried. I am. I'm worried, and this is the first. I don't think I've called a loss this season. I've called draws when I've lost, but I think we're going to go down 2-1. I think we're going to go down 2-1.
Wow. Yes, man, is saying, agreeing with you, saying no midfield, no party. So at least you've justified why you're going to lose. I mean, it's very rare I've heard you say that, Mr. B. We played Barcelona and you said we're going to win. We played Arsenal. You played Liverpool, all these teams. You were still confident. I'm going to put it like this. I think our away form, I don't know if it's like, look, last year we had an unbeaten away record, didn't we? This year, against the top 6, away, we lost at Liverpool. We know about that. We lost at Arsenal, lost at City, and we still yet to play Chelsea. Yes, Vincent, how you doing? Yet to play Chelsea, and I think we've got to play Spurs as well, maybe as well. So lost at these teams. So ask Newcastle of that caliber. Is it really that daunting to go there and actually get a result? And will we change our fortunes by winning away from home against a team that's in the top 6?
Well, this is the point that I was gonna bring up next. We don't at home. There's no problem against the top 6, but away from home, Liverpool handed us our arse and Man City handed us our arse, bruv.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's not a joke thing. It's not a joke thing. You know what I mean. I don't know if it's Ten Hag maybe thinking these players are better than they are, or they're making errors. I mean, as a manager, you're never going to say the other team was better than you. But we took some licks in both of those games. And if we don't have our head on, you look at Isak now. He's come back from injury, and Wilson can't get a kick. Wilson's not starting. Yeah. You know, Isak's on penalties. He scored 2 in his last game. That's somebody there that I am worried about. So, yeah, I'm worried. I'm really, really worried.
It's a interesting game, isn't it? There's no easy games in the Prem, but this is an interesting one because Newcastle have dropped off the pace. They've been like third place majority of the season, haven't they? They've been up there, so it's up to them now. They have to win their home games. They'll be looking at this game. It's Man United for one. They want to beat Man United regardless of where they are positioned in the league. But also there's that bonus. If they beat Man United, they close the gap on us, and then the Spurs are a point off us. We've got games to add. It's
They go past us, don't they? Go past us if they beat us at the league table up. They go past us if they beat us. Yeah, it's this last part of the season. I don't know why I'm nervous. I don't know where the nerves have come from, and maybe it's the break. But yeah, I don't know. I've been confident all the way up to maybe we get the game out the way and we win it, and then that whole swagger and all of that comes back. But I'm worried. I'm even worried about the fourth, to be fair.
To put a positive spin on it, I think like we beat them in the cup final and we beat them quite convincingly. I think when we're going into this game, having that rest that we needed, knowing that we're going to this is the final furlong of the season, I think that back four there will be organised and strong. I just think where we've been naive away from home is the tactics. Sometimes we're not leaving that insurance at the back. It's all right playing this Ten Hag way and going forward, but there's got to be that insurance, that rest defense, as they say, a 5 and 5, 5 guys at the back at all time, stop the counters and stop stupid mistakes, giving the ball away. We've got to improve in certain areas for me if we're going to be developing, bringing the ball out from the back. That means the keeper, distribution, getting it to the halfway line and playing. We're struggling with that. That needs to improve for one. And also, when we're on the attack, we need to be secure. That means maybe Bruno or Anthony and the wideman need to sort of do their work and come back. Not be chasing back, but the start position on a counter against us has to be not ahead of the ball. And I think away from home, just being conservative. Go out there. We start with a point as a draw before the game kicks off. We've already got a point. Go out there and make sure we keep that point. We don't drop points. That's the main thing. And then we can get stuff on the break with the pace that we've got. I'm not saying play a counter-attacking game, but be a bit more conservative. There's been times where we've been a bit wide open. Look at the Liverpool game, for example. One, we played really well in the first half. Then we were wide open in the second half. We did change it. We're 3-0 down. And the manager, I'm not blaming him, but he still continued with his philosophy rather than making it a bit more conservative. Like, let's reduce the scoreline and keeping players, behind the play. I don't know what you guys think in the comments, but that's my thoughts on it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff agrees with you wholeheartedly, mate. So you've definitely got one. You spoke sense. There's not really much. I like to have a little disagreement here and there, but I'll have to keep my mouth shut and zip that one. Good argument. Did you give us a score prediction on Monday?
I'm going to say 1-0 away from home. It'd be beautiful, just like we did when Eric Cantona scored against Newcastle, who gave it the pelters all games. Schmeichel made loads of saves, and then Eric Cantona scored a nice shot from just out of the blue, and we got the result. So most important thing is the result here. Let's not go out there and be stupid.
Well, look, Lucky Singh, welcome, man. We saw your last couple of messages, but we'll do this one. Yep, Sabitzer has to play. Agreed. Vincent Bullock has gone 3-0. United. And McKay, we will lose against Newcastle because we lost. What? We will lose against Newcastle because we lost the final. Simple. Oh, because right. Sorry, right. Yeah, sorry. I was gonna say, Emma, you've been on the sauce a bit earlier, hey? I don't know. But look, guys, score predictions in. Solo 11's in. Me and OMONDI have had our chat, and you guys have had your chat. This is how we do it on the agenda. To all of you, Len, 1-0 United. You're a lot more.
Filling up the merchandise before we sign out as well.
Yeah, a lot more confident than me, guys. Obviously, there's a lot more of you now than when we started. Let me get his thing off there. Oh shit!
Just guys, have a look at this. This is the Man United agenda. You've seen us with our mugs. Let's get a collection of mugs. I was saying earlier in the show, I want to have a first 11 full of mugs so I can do my tactical board with that in future. There's so many good players out there. Even maybe get a young player on the mug. Test Glenn and asking for a young player to come on. Maybe a Kobe, maybe a Garnacho. We haven't seen many of them being ordered yet. So, guys, if you were going to pick a mug with the Man United agenda on one side and your favourite player or one of your favourite players on the other side, who would you be picking? I've got Maguire, as you know. I know Rebel's got the Martinez. I know the Trini boy, Sancho, is with CALLULA. You got Rashford.
I've got Rashford. There was only ever gonna be one. I'm not sure I can get Andy Cole on the cup, so I'll take Rashford for now. And I'll do that. I'll accept that. To be fair, but guys, as always, nothing but love for all of you, man. I say every week. You don't have to be here, but you are. We appreciate every single one of you. If you are watching, you're watching it late. Drop us some comments. Let us know what you think about that MCFRED axis and whether my score prediction is completely wrong and whether Mondays is completely right. I really hope it's a Monday's 1-0. I don't normally want a 1-0, but I would gladly take a 1-0 this week. So, guys, let me get that off your face. There. Yeah, guys. Hands up. There you go. Right.
Everything.
So you did. Yeah, guys. Guys, look, we're out. This is the agenda. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Maybe take it easy. Goodbye.